E agora o Aspas já garantindo 2 abates logo de começo, hein? Só que o Xenon já foi eliminado. O Aspas de novo.
It's in a couple, but Net's going to be there. That's 4 for Net.
Welcome back, everyone. We've got a series on our hands. MIBR are keeping themselves alive in this series, enjoying some well-earned bananas.
I love the
Got
banana.
that potassium up. Honestly, it's the game removed.
It was always my pregame, like, little snack to eat. You
It's
know,
a perfect snack.
Eases the nerves a little
Yeah,
bit. Get that
secret of the gamers.
potassium in your system.
That's right.
I feel like Australis said that like years and years ago. They were the ones that started that in CS like years and years ago, but now you see it everywhere.
Well, MIBR got a long way to go to be compared to Australis, but this
Aspas
map
is there.
Yeah, this map was a good start.
Yeah.
He had 7 operator kills on that Abyss map, and it was just floating around on the defensive side. And I thought Cloud9, they tried their best to deal with it, but he just got value anyway.
I mean, they tried their best on their attack, but yeah, let's roll it back here in this series in general. I mean, quite frankly, when we heard what the coach had to say, Fraud, when they were down, it's just like, you know, we need to be cleaner, we need to get those side executions cleaned up, and that's exactly what they did. He delivered on everything he asked for.
Yeah, they kept it really simple on Abyss, which is a very simplistic map, right? These 3 lanes spread out super far away from each other, and it allowed them to get the separation for these execs that you were talking about, Baby Bay, and Aspas was just flourishing. On the spear, the front part of these hits, he was playing so well, but you have to give flowers to the rookies on this team.
Oh, yeah.
If you're gonna talk about Aspas. I mean, particularly Cortezia and Shenum.
Yeah. Cortezia had such good lurk timings on this map, and he was finding openers even when they were down numbers in the rare occasion that Aspas did go down on the entry. So kind of giving them a way out. And yeah, look at the stats right now. I mean, Shenum, he was like a silent killer in this map on the Astra, but his shots were so crispy, and I think now we're finally starting to see some life in this MIBR team that we really haven't seen at all.
Yeah, he won a one-on-one against Vic early on in that B site. That was pivotal in the first half, in my opinion. He had super low HP, had to play the situation perfectly around Vic and spammed him right through the smoke. It was a sick play.
Yeah. What I love the most about is just, you know, people were starting to question, obviously, after the first few performances from MIBR, like, was it the right move to pick up those inexperienced players? But with that performance right there, I think they really showed everyone what Fraud and Aspas have seen in them.
I mean, we saw what they can do when they play, you know, this open default map with a default comp against the default comp.
Yeah.
But the question is whether they can show up against, you know, the Teo, against these newer meta comps when they're behind the 8 ball and they aren't equipped with those layers. They have the shooters to go head-to-head with anyone in the league. It's just whether they have the game plan to do it as well.
Well, and one of the pieces that is forming that game plan is, of course, Nazwar. And earlier we spoke with Nazwar to get his read on the competition and what he thinks he needs to work on heading into this match.
Para nosso jogo contra a Cloud9, a gente sabe que o jogo deles é um pouco em torno do Ox também. Então, eu já joguei várias vezes contra a Cloud9, então eu sei bem como eles pensam um pouco, como eles jogam. E também o jogo contra a Handetives deu para a gente saber qual é a nossa fraqueza, né, no campeonato, por enquanto que foi a defesa. A gente não conseguiu encaixar nosso ritmo do jogo contra a Handetives. Então a gente vai focar nisso e contra a Cloud9 a gente está bem confiante.
He said it so deadpan too. I'm confident.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is we kind of did see them struggle on the defensive side as well. They kind of had to rely on the op crutch of Aspas, but that's a good thing to rely on. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When Aspas is opping, it's a great thing for you.
But even then, they required that 10-2 lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, with that 10-2 lead evaporated real quick when they switched.
It was actually crazy because Zoe, you were the one that was like, oh yeah, let's sit down in the back over here because this is gonna be a long one, but it will be a fake comeback. I don't know how you have the script.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah,
I'm writing the script.
what is up with that?
That was kind of crazy.
Right now. Well, I'm not going to give away what's happening in the next map, but maybe get your thoughts. How do you think Pearl is going to plan out?
Oh, I think it could be good for MIBR because it is kind of another one of those maps where if it is default comp versus default comp, you give these long sight lines to Aspas again, and the lurk timings to Cortezia. It could be another case of what we just saw in Abyss.
This has been an Aspas map,
right?
Historically. Like, I have seen this guy do filthy things on Pearl, just year after year now at this point. But Oxy's also heating up here.
Yeah, and yeah, he also had 5 operator kills of his
Exactly.
own, by the way.
That ace was maybe the play of the year so far.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, it's always him too.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing is like he has all these tweets. Oh, I'm not performing how I want to perform, and then he gets an ace against like Aspas.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean, bro? Like,
I saw MIBR play this in the off season, and I know they can play the map. They weren't running anything too crazy at
it was
the
like
time.
a default comp.
Yeah,
I remember.
I know also Cloud9 is in like the middle of their pool as well. So this is actually a really good third map. It's, you know, standard default style map. I think we're gonna see pretty vanilla comps. I'd be shocked to see something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, last year, Cloud9, they were running the Neon, you know, on Oxy on this map, but I don't think with the way that Neon is right now in this current meta that we're going to see that. It would be cool, however, because I think that it would throw MIBR off with not having to deal with a default comp.
But is that a risk you want to take?
It's
This is
very
elimination match,
It's
third
very
match in the
risky.
map in the series. Like literally everything is on the line.
I think the
For both
question
of
is
these
whether we
teams.
see like a Vice or something like that. I
Well,
think
you know
we
what?
have the Jets.
We're
but
going to find out very soon. For now, we're heading into a quick break, and afterwards, we're back with the third map in the series. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to the third map of our second series of the day. That means this map will eliminate one of our teams going forward. It's Cloud9 versus MIBR, and we are diving into Pearl for this map.
Into the inevitable, where unfortunately somebody else is going to be eliminated after this game, but I wouldn't want it any other way that we actually are able to have a third and final map where we haven't seen from either of these two teams yet, at least on the VCT stage. So for one end, Sean Garris was mentioning, hey, maybe they went back to the roots of what were they comfortable with. Are we going to see vanilla comps here for MIBR?
Yeah.
Potentially here, because that's where they found so much success on Abyss. But this is also a map where we haven't seen C9 play yet. They were also able to implement some Deo in the first place going into kickoff, and they were able to thwart some default comps such as Energy on Fracture, for example. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what we're going to expect now, what to expect going into this map. But if there's potentially a comp diff going into this one, I'm going to have to potentially give it to C9 coming in with something new.
Well, I mean, C9, the overarching kind of lower bracket runs for that org across every game has for some reason been a plot armor. And this team that they have chosen as well looks like it gives them some plot armor, some crazy stuff there. MIBR is going to look to thwart that lower bracket run with some of their own default comp, that comfortability. This is exactly what I think made them so strong last map.
But the thing is when they played this during the offseason for MIBR, there was no Tejo. So now on paper, this Killjoy's gone. And then you look back on the side of C9. They have Fade. You could play Prowlers to clear out towards middle. You could scale up towards long. You could do salvos with TPs towards the back of the sites here for both the Yoru and the Tejo on the side of Cloud9. So on paper, it looks like here you're going to be able to work around the map quite easily for Cloud9.
And we know they love to mess with utility to start. So what is on their docket? First thing, probably mess with where you are in sight, or trying to get into sight. It would be a C9 are starting on defense here. Already a rotation, a push out C long as MIBR are wasting no time to dash into the site. Default hit here as they're just going to go ahead, power in numbers. But there is some hide in secret right now. Great kills from Oxy and Nat. Unexpected. MIBR thought they had a clear sight, and that moment they take to breathe is the moment that C9 takes to bite back.
Now you have no choice but to potentially stay inside the site or to go for hero plays, rather. Artazine and Shen on the last two remaining. I mean, yes, you've made it through this trip, but it might be too late unless you're able to get behind them.
Squeeze. Oh, shoot in the back. Always
Volley's good.
Beautiful fragment. That's going to drop the health of a few, and Net alone. They still get a shot. Well, MIBR is playing this so masterfully right now, but they have to get in the smoke. They have to see if it's getting diffused. Can it be Oxy? No, it can't. It can be shot once again. The final kill of the round will go to Vic. These two players always alive at the end of the rounds and showing us some awesome stuff.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it looked like they had an open site, yes, but it did throw a null command for MIBR to spot a player playing inside dugout. I almost think it actually didn't catch net towards that back. But for them to decide to do this, to pop flash, to fight back towards that spawn, was an interesting one because from the get-go, there was no delays coming through from Cloud9, so you have to expect they're playing for a flood retake. They probably did expect here that it was gonna be a double flank, so props to Cloud9 to play so far back.
Let's go, baby! Yes!
Oh.
Pistol round hype for Oxy. They're loving it.
Usually his volume's like 0 to 100, but that was tame.
They're tame. They're tempering the play. They're tempering the go. He's got a long game to go. He's got more yelling to do, apparently. We'll see if they hit this hard towards A. The lurk here, though, from Shen could be a big factor. Whoa, that was a shoulder. Yeah, I think Vic just caught that. Quick kill goes to Aspas, so they're going to have a hard time getting into sight, but they're still encroaching, trying to find the back of somebody from C9.
Yeah. I mean, okay, everybody's isolated for 1v1s, but Cortezia does a good job against Mitch. Rifle's a little bit too far away for him to pick up, but at least to get the plant for MIBR.
Vic with a quick check, giving the team the rest of the time to come from Secret, come from that garden area. Try to file into the site high-low as they play it and just quickly overwhelm the site as you would expect with these weapons. Oxy on that outlaw from B comes into play, and he'll start actually getting some orbs up. That's going to be a dimensional drift for him.
Very early as well.
Yeah.
And that could bring a lot of value because you look at C9's investment, it was still a lot being put here. A Judge, couple of Bulldogs, an Outlaw, and those Bulldogs could actually be quite good for Cloud9 in the retake scenarios, especially when Oxy, well, actually, looks like he's dropping away from the Outlaw so he could play the Judge in those moments.
Oh, yeah, he wants to get out and do something funky here. I think Yoru, I mean, Zeppa and other maps would stay with Oxy. We kind of talked about that, their fracture game and whatnot. But at Yoru, you still have to be left up your own devices. So it looks like they're still going to allow him to do that. He goes back to the Bulldog, though. A little measured, a little measured.
It makes sense. He left a TP back towards that spawn. You need to leverage your duelist here to have this get out of jail free card. If you're able to get a pick or miss and get out of there to safety. And I wouldn't be surprised later on if you go for the juggle so that they could play the dimensional drift retake.
Actually pushed all the way to A. You saw him took that gate crash back. So now they're at B, ready for the hit. But Aspas creeping around the back. They know they have gotten all the way into sight now. So C9's rotating over, but great positioning by MIBR here on the bonus round.
Here comes all these trades. So Oxy's back with the Judge. He's going to be able to find information moving back for the rest of the team, but they're all isolated back towards the spawn.
All right. Blind and find. Here we go. Oxy trying to get in, does have that Judge once again after they kind of flipped the site, so they're trading weapons back and forth. Vic to take down Artesine here. Oxy in a smoke. He's trying to break crosshairs, cannot find anyone just yet, as somehow MIBR still hiding in these moments as Nat does search out Cortezia. Salvo back and a bit of a break in the fight here as Cloud9 just figured out where their targets are. Vic should be able to get this. Wait a minute, a few more shots here. Vic does get the defuse. Sheno's not able to get that shot on him. Quick back and forth there, but even with a sliver of health, Cloud9 are able to grab that round.
Yeah, going into that one, looks like it was a regen shield too for Vic on that defuse. A lot of chaos has been put into Cloud9, but yes, you were talking about the dimensional drift out from Oxy, and it looked like they weren't really trying to get frags around there. There was such good stall coming out from MIBR on the post plan, but towards the end, finally, when all of that util is gone and everything settles down, at least for the initial concuss or stalls they could do with their util, you have the power of numbers of Cloud9 that really had winning duels on top of that. You didn't have to trade too much. It didn't give a chance here for Shenom to get that clutch towards the end. I mean, there's a lot of bodies to shoot on. There was like 3 of them, plus 1 in the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, that should have been MIBR's round 2. You can even see Emmy knew it at the end there on the coach cam. A little bit of space take towards A, but no action just yet.
And here rifle for Aspas around the Stingers. And Aspas is once again going to be the one trying to entry towards that site. Thankfully, they have a Cosmic Divide to just split the front of that site to work together. Okay.
Oh, the spam through. They weren't expecting that from Secret. A trade back, though, as Aspas does find a kill. they can play this slow. Armageddon's there for Mitch. The Taeho ultimate is ready.
That's just unlucky. Maybe a small mistake on the Cosmic Divider. Free kill through the wall. Oh, got caught.
Blocked off Ospas after his kill. They're kind of identifying a few of the members here. Stars are still on the spike. C9 need to work quick here and start to create a lot of options that MIBR can not get a hold of. But no, they're ready for everything and anything. Cortesia with the last one, and it's going to be a round for MIBR.
Ospas just continuing to break crosshair placement as he's just dashing around and just keeping the store duelist of Cloud9 focused on him, so the rest of the team could just play a cleaner pulse plant just to spray out towards the A main. But I gotta say, that small mistake from that wall could have been very, very costly for MIBR. It would have been one of those scenarios where C9 could potentially walk away with another 5-0, another 6-0. This is not the start that you want here in the elimination match for MIBR when you lose once again pistol and bonus against Cloud9. But thankfully, they stopped the bleeding quite early.
Big push. They want to fight this fully. This blind is there, and Ospas can't see a damn thing as Vix is able to get that frag in their favor for first blood of our 5th round.
And that's the Prowler just falling behind that to actually get that bite onto Ospas. The drone behind it as well. Just again, talking about this double initiator util is so good for Cloud9, but I talked about it on the attack side, not on how good it's been on a defensive side to help out here. Cloud9 take advantage of the orb and also deny it from Nosware.
Slowly trying to get themselves behind enemy lines. This is big from Cortesia. We've seen this multiple times across our maps. Huge. And now he's causing problems for C9. This gives the rest of MIBR time to move around the map safely.
Okay, so they're putting a lot of responsibility onto Zeppa just to watch that 1v1 so that Oxy can move back and support towards the Gout in front of A. But everything's done well enough here by Cortesia to allow MIBR to move in for a plant. And once again, play. Potentially here, another clean pulse plant.
Almost a quick frag. They're going to actually use that Cypher ult.
Yeah, 2v2.
See if they can get in the stars. They're going to be so troublesome here. Hunter's Fury hasn't even used the Astra Stars yet. Very well played. The layers to the post plant are making this so tough for C9. But Oxy just gets a swinging headshot onto Nosware. They're going to head back to side of Shenum. Going to do everything he can here.
Got it.
Quick concuss, quick shot, but he doesn't get that frag. It's not even the half, though. He's got Oxy on the ropes, and Shenum gets another clutch in the series.
And interesting enough, too, that they utilized the Hunter's Fury to start things off, but it makes sense because when they played that 2v2, especially with the Neural Theft thrown by Net, you have to... They already knew you were kind of split up. So if you're already going to go for the suck first, then you already have 2 players potentially on the defensive side just trying to push down towards the main. So you kick things off here with the Hunter's Fury. You're trying to keep them at bay, and then you use that grab well so you can play a little bit more slowly towards that arc push that you're trying to do here for Shenum. So turns out quite well. Heads up play for MIBR. And already in an early timeout for Cloud9, Imi wants to make sure here that they don't run through the same type of shenanigans as they did on Lotus, where they're going to run away with it, then it's tied up, and then when it comes down to those pressured moments, you know that Cloud9, they're always like one map, one series away from qualifying into an international. So they want to make sure that they don't falter that early at kickoff.
Great clutches so far. Red Bull clutch from Shenum, another one on the series, is preventing Cloud9 from doing a few of these things. I think so far we've seen in the games they have a lead they can close. That would plague them as well in these lower long runs if they do make it. You'd be like, man, they're in such great form, and then a non-closing game comes in. You're like, wait, why does this plague them? MIBR is trying to be fierce so they can bring that error back out of C9. If it's even there. I mean, what does this roster provide for them, right? Maybe it's not even a problem with the veteran status they have here working with C9. There's a lot of it there on the side of MIBR too. As we get back in round 6, they're going to have weapons. They're going to look to take this back in their control.
I'm actually trying to push up towards B to start for Cloud9 in this aggression. I mean, it is an eco round that you have here. Recon, Al Jones started early off on the attack side for Nosware, already pushed away. So they know the tail's playing close, but don't know how many players behind Zeppa, or sorry, behind Mitch is actually there for Cloud9. And they'll get that info at least because the pip will show up on the scoreboard. They know that Oxy picked it up and that he TP'd away. But for the rest for MIBR, they are playing the anti-eco. It's going to be a lot easier for them to just win these duels, especially when they're playing this buddy system that you currently see.
You always have to against C9, right? I mean, you always have somewhat of an anti-eco, but against C9, for some reason, no matter the squad, their ecos are always so strong.
C9, EG, we saw that from MIBR as well.
Crazy.
So. Yep.
Crazy how these teams can organize such good low-level or low-buy strats here to make it work. Already a frag, though. They take down net, so they don't have to worry too much about a lurk. And they should be able to get this retake onto C9 as they hit B.
Especially when they heard the TP earlier on there by Oxy, and they probably waited that extra 20 seconds so that if there was another one, it was already gone. So now they have power of numbers for MIBR, a 4 versus 2. But you talked about the Shearus, it's good for 1.
Audazine still trades back, though. They don't have to worry about Mitch too much no more with the salvos coming in. So set up by 4, Cortesia probably get his util to stick now. Now Teo's gone. Feels a little bit better. But it's just a slow rotation in here from C9 and most likely a cleanup. So great job by MIBR. They're not pushing themselves too thin. These shots come in. It should just be a cleanup. And I think they're dealing well with Cloud9, always trying to make MIBR sweat at the beginning of the round, right? We had that little push towards C. C-Long didn't do much, but they're always giving MIBR something to think about before they can run their strat.
Thing is, right now, they kind of just ran into the crosshair of Audazine, who gets the pick instead of trying to die the spike and not give these pips away. Because Audazine, after that kill, he has null command. I wonder, you know, with the fact that we talked about Cortesia playing into this Killjoy is basically a write-off because you're playing against Mitch with these salvos. It should nullify the lockdown, right? But maybe that's the reason why MIBR adds that extra layer of Audazine with a null command, with a 0 point, to maybe try to find where Mitch could be playing so they could get the best value out of this lockdown. It starts here as a 5-player death ball towards the A site for MIBR.
And looking great for MIBR. Since the gun rounds, they've had control, but now they have a lot of salvo in their face they have to deal with. It is Nazor that makes it past. Oxy has another dimensional drift already, so if C9 feels like they've lost control around, they can regain it back with a bit of that vision.
And it's a great start because the salvo's already gone, so you can already pull out the lockdown. Nothing's going to stop it at this point, and MIBR could choose to play the fake or play the pinch.
You should run.
That's a huge point, and it's not going to be ready for at least another 10, 15 seconds. They're going to get through this lockdown very nicely. Quick Prowler is going to alert them. A very, very close Zeppa, and that's going to go down. Aspas and Shenum, beautiful teamwork as they pick their teammate back up. Audazine back in the mix.
Just so simple. Going with the null command, bait yourself out, being selfless. You could instantly trade res up while you still have the null command. And also you created that space already from the lockdown, so front side should be good, and it is.
Quick plant. Just letting the util waste away before C9 gets their positioning back here. This is a tough task right here. Aspas even playing the height of the box over towards Art. He gets hit pretty good. They're going to require the rest of the team to come in here.
I mean, look at Vic's HP after that.
It is low.
5 HP remaining. They hear the rotates back. Audazine just going to try to hunt them down. But yeah, it looks really good here for MIBR again. Just working in the driver's seat. When we looked at the vanilla comp, this should be C9 basically able to dissect this map in their favor. But MIBR are doing a great job sticking to the basics of what are the advantages of this composition, what they could do. Again, we talked about these pop flashes for Aspas. Aspas just dashing in and clearing space. And then you're able to play the pulse plant around Shenum and around Noswer. But that, around the ults to split, was actually quite nice. That usually we don't see that from the default comp.
And ultimately, MIBR, they look to play this comp where they can get those ults in, get themselves into the site, and kind of play it slow. So C9 does waste that utility. They can get through those windows. Seems really neat that they continue to go back and forth and are now doing what C9 basically did on Lotus, is waste C9's util and play within the windows when they can hit site. Very nice little change of how they're going about it.
Now in a lower buy that you have for Cloud9, net with the Vandal, playing solo towards this B site. And things stay the same for Cloud9 though. You saw from this minimap, just trying to push up towards this A main, isolate that, pick up an orb, just trying to play the long game. This should technically be a write-off for Cloud9, and they play the long run for the next
Ooh, I thought Net was stuck and dead to rights, but he actually keeps himself alive and gets a kill. The rest of the team starts to fall, though, as that is only good for one. As they push in here, it looks like MIBR should be able to get this with the Bucky and Stinger on the other side. I think another thing that's really a blessing for MIBR is picking this is that they can use the KJ on the attack side first. You talk about around the Tejo window, but imagine if they were on defense, right? I think they would be looking for the KJ util, salvoing it and whatnot. So they it's really nice that they kind of get to work around that window to start and get some rounds on attack.
It's also one of the simple things, though, if you want to look on the other end for Cloud9, is that if that lockdown is ready, maybe it's not those moments to use a salvo right away to try to be aggressive, right?
Yeah.
So you need to be aware of what's going on for your opponents, too, not just trying to draw up or think about what you should do in round 7 because we have this. You have to think about what your opponents have as well.
That's true.
Which is unfortunately was missed, which allowed here MIBR to string these rounds. They have 5 in a row now on their side.
Crazy stuff. Yeah, as soon as they got guns. So what does that tell? Like, are they really that much stronger with weapons here? C9 only getting to that bonus round. But MIBR have an answer.
Yeah.
It looks like C will be one of those.
Not only that, this is also very similar to what Abyss could be. You have these long corridors around long B, around long A, but they weren't really allowed to put an operator in the hands of Oxy on this Yoru yet.
Baby Bay talking about it. Aspas does some crazy things when he's on Pearl, but Vic and Zeppa able to trade that B-Link area very well. And this is going to be a tough hold for MIBR. 3 in sight and a big amount of ults coming in at him from the side of C9.
Push towards spawn, though. Artesian just got spotted by the Dimensional Drift.
Yeah, he's getting bumped around now. Oxy's basically trying to give him a hug at the moment. Mitch and Nat are going to follow up with 2 more on that, and Naswer looking down the crosshair. Not going to get much on that one as Vic gets the kill. And C9 are able to stop the pressure here, stop that bleeding of MIBR's consecutive rounds.
And with a flawless, you're definitely going to take that for Cloud9. Being strong on the retake, but not only on the retake, also, it's been how many rounds have they played against each other so far in this series? They're going to be like, at some point, Cortezia is probably going to be lurking somewhere. And look at that. 2 players just holding up towards that door. Hello, easy kills. Although not only did they take Cortezia, they had 2 players walk through those double doors for MIBR, which does not allow for you to have any type of value in the Pulse plan playing off-site.
Spikes drop for this hit. Makes me think they want to run in and out. I mean, you got a lot of ults. Hopefully they can run in and out and see a few of those be used erroneously here for C9. Well, that is a big ask. It's just a quick default here for MIBR.
For C9, it's 5 players looking to crunch into middle. The turret will sound the alarm for MIBR to play a little bit more passively, and Cortezia has to be a little bit smart in these moments. Doesn't want to overextend, to at least try, in his point of view, fight a 1v1. Because he was going to be in a world full of hurt if he was going to overswing outside towards middle. So that slows things down. Yeah, spike down, dropped. You're going to play the recon game now. Nasra already grouping up in a buddy system, but not with Aspas, really.
Yeah, I think they might go back, give Nasra the plan, if possible. Hunter's Fury. They are all over the map right now, though. Love this play. It's so making nice. C9 move, and there's one on Oxy. A huge first frag. And just inserting people has MIBR taken advantage in the round.
But they have so much map control without really understanding what they want to do with the spike hit. Finally, Aspas is going to move back. But a lot of time is going to be wasted. Net felt like he had to make a play. So he looks for information towards streets, and that will definitely give the advantage for MIBR to plant in these moments. And that's unfortunate, Riv, because this has happened before here for Cloud9, where, yes, they're at a player disadvantage, but they have too much overextension coming out from Net. And then he gets punished, and this should technically be an easy round for MIBR. Already in his post plant, everybody's saying towards dugout for C9, so they want to play for the next around these ults.
And MIBR has shown us that they can come back, they can figure out what's going on, adapt mid-game, and come out with new strats as well. This whole across the map default shows so much patience, as from before they were using Aspas to get into sight. Only a few times did they ever really deter from that and have Aspas go alone. So great stuff for MIBR to be able to pull out here in map 3.
And the punishment, too, on a 5 versus 5 to walk up for information. Even I was criticizing Net, but also for Oxy to move up there, thinking that the coast was clear. That they were trying for MIBR just to play that buddy system, the initiator, around the Aspas jet.
All right, bit of a miss on that one, but they still clean it up.
2 weapons, and also the ult here from Mitch is actually quite huge. The Armageddon could be very useful. They haven't had too many opportunities to use that yet, because he's held on to that for like, what, 3 or 4 rounds so far. So to play the delay or play the retake, really, really good on retaking towards that back of that B side, kind of like the Hunter's Fury that some teams like to run, like Noswer, for example, with MIBR. So similar values that you have. So the pressure that you are actually trying to activate around your Yoru to control this side and play the retake with that ult on B. While you're playing the stall on that side with your controller and your Sentinel for Cloud9.
The C9 knows that this A insert keeps happening, and Oxy wants to fight it with the safe out of gate crash. They do get that good info. Now focusing Artazine here, and they have both Hunter's Fury and that Null command up. C9 wants to stay in sight for this fight behind the wall.
I think Artazine got the pick onto Mitch before the wall even came up.
Yeah, it was really quick. Just on that left side, you can see the X down. Another one from the Hunter's Fury, as well as Cloud9 is absolutely scattered in the A site, but it's not a commitment from MIBR yet.
At this point, C9 feel like they have to make the hero play, so just playing patient, playing your numbers here for MIBR is good. They're walking into crosshair, the op gets the pick up the Zeppa. This should have been a save 20 seconds ago for C9.
Ooh, planning just off the crux in that default spot so they don't get spammed from the lower portion like before. And here come the rest of Cloud9, high, low, and just trying to monkey in around the site right now to get that perfect shot. Really nice post-plant setup here for the side of MIBR, but they're known. They're found out now, and they have to make a move. Big shots from Cortesia, but it's not going to land. Vic comes up with another one. Shenum and Noswer now at the top of A main as Noswer strikes true twice, 3 times at that to get the round. 7-4 now for MIBR.
I was about to eat my metaphorical hat at that point when I said it should have been a save 20 seconds ago.
Uh-oh.
When they left some players deserted here on an island in this post-plant scenario for MIBR. But thankfully, the last 2 players playing that stall is going to be good enough here. But that should have been much cleaner. That said, the last round into the half, still getting rid of the value that Mitch could have with this Armageddon, and also breaking a lot of that econ for Cloud9 in this last round. That's why it should have been a save. Having 3 rifles left behind with the buy that you have here, you would have come out a little bit stronger to potentially narrow that gap. And it's almost been carbon copy protocols of what C9's been doing on the defensive side. And MIBR is taking full advantage of it.
A lot of pressure on the map with that spike down, as always. Cortesia to open it up onto Vic. The smokes are now wanting for the side of C9. Just the jumps. They're so confident behind each other. It just looks like they're having fun right now in these final rounds of the first half. Map 3.
Yeah, and Artazine is not going to hear the rotate yet. But there's still 1 player anchoring to watch that flank, and then Shenum again with the op.
Quick shot. Shenum with the pull, but it was going to be Oxy and the rest of the team already making it past, the timing in their favor. But here, timing from Artazine. Oh, the first shots are on the jump. We've all been there, but Noswer was able to answer. The column is held strong, and Noswer gets the last 2 frags for an 8-4 first half on Pearl from MIBR.
Love how that round was played by MIBR. Artazine not hearing players, but they understand what gaps were on their defensive line. So having the op to watch the flank, the suck for the delay, but then also to have Noswer play around the pillar right here to crunch on the last 2 players of C9. This is great attack side for MIBR, but let's see if C9 with this comp could pull it out.
Crazy stuff. MIBR 5 rounds away from eliminating Cloud9 in this match. We'll be right back. All right, let's get the second half underway of our final map in this series. Elimination on the line, and MIBR in the lead.
Yeah, surprisingly enough here, again, MIBR, very, very slow start on that first map, but coming out with a vengeance since Abyss, since their map pick, and also taking control of Pearl so far. But for C9, we mentioned it just before this map, on paper still looks pretty good to run some pretty good defaults. The thing is like trying to scale fast towards the A site could be difficult because they don't have that jet dash. So you want to try to leverage the synergy around all this util available from Mitch and Zeppa and work as a group here to see if you could capitalize on your round. But C9 pistol round 1, I think it was a bonus, and they still only got 4 rounds.
Right, yeah, the first 3 were theirs, and then fell through their fingers.
Yep. That's confidence coming out from MIBR once again, and that's the type of half you want to start with on the defensive side. To pull this upset against Cloud9, must I say.
Yeah, an upset indeed. Going into sight, smokes are down, salvo's in, and the Arsenal gives a little breathing room here to Cloud9. We wondered if this Tejo would be stronger on their attack side as they start to trade. We do see, it looks like C9 feeling better on this one, just losing Zeppa. Still a lot to throw at the site. Stop MIBR on the defuse.
So far, so good for Mitch. He's getting kills with the Ghost, but he's stuck towards the back of the site. So we talk about the salvos. When he comes back up here in 13, he might not be able to use them. At least they have the star on the ground for the pulse plant.
Mitch with 3. You better expect the Phantom to be purchased by C9 coming in the next round. That's how it works, especially if they win. But the smoke's going to make it tough now. Getting in a beautiful pull. Smoke still giving a bit of cover with half. They just jump in. Oh no, Vans, this just got real tricky. They left that one up to chance. You never do that. Nosworth gets 3, gets the defuse in what looked like a Cloud9 round. MIBR just takes the rug right up from under him.
And you were hoping Elise jumping in with the right click would be able to take down the spike diffuser. But he's protected. Look at this.
Oh my God.
Nosworthy IGL for MIBR. Saves his teammate. Shinhams, you see it from the Astros point of view, just look it up, be like, oh.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. Let me just diffuse this under your nose.
And to be diffusing on the front side too, towards the front of the smoke, they still get that instead of like everything. C9 should have just been able to capitalize there, but heady plays by MIBR. They just keep coming and the momentum is there. Over towards A, a quick hit by Mitch just to show presence as C9 moves quick through Art.
The thing is, they went salvo and just ran it down, and the knife already spotted only 1 player. They could have double pushed up, but they decided to play further back, which is still good.
Quick 3 cleanup there, a classic to follow as Aspas aims on that one, resets and takes down Zeppa for the 4K. He's getting those all points online, if you will, and he is feeling good. Smile from him. Usually you just see the stoic personality, but they know they're in a group. And I'm sure Aspas is incredibly happy to see this team coming together. We keep saying it. This guy's not going to choose players he doesn't think are great. Like, that's the mechanic there. He sees that in other players. And man, Shenham delivering. Cortesia last match as well. Obviously, tougher on the Killjoy this time around as we expected, but the team's coming together.
And he's never played with Cortesia, Shenham, or even Artazine in that fact.
Yeah.
They're still getting good results until this time Oxy finally opens up. The player advantage for Cloud9 in their buy and already starting the bonus round of MIBR in the very beginning.
Artazine hoping people come through with a Bucky there. But C9, I think since they've been so pushed back, last map and even these first few rounds, it's going to be a very touch and go. Hit each site, see what's there until they like what they see, much like we saw in Lotus.
They're okay to keep it calm for Cloud9. You definitely do potentially feel the pressure that Cloud9 currently has in the server, trailing behind by 6. Net didn't really push out too far out and just wanted to watch that angle. And they all stay as a group to make sure that they get guaranteed trades. We could find some surprises for him. I mean, look at that. Already an Armageddon on your attack side just to make sure you could get a plant down.
Crazy stuff. And that's a quick one, too. With default plant, they should wait. Plant gets stopped here. They actually have to figure this out again. They still get the frags they need. Yeah, all good. That was just for a moment. It looked scary, but obviously just pistols on the other side, so not much damage was done. Even Oxy's going to stay for the last frag. A 3K there. They're starting to get those alt points online, and this was kind of Cloud9 in the first half too, but can they keep it going?
Yeah. and 5 players death ball towards that B side. I think it's still okay for them to not go for the plant right away, especially when you have this util, the recon dart, and more util coming through potentially with shock darts from Nosware. So you just want it on C9 side to make sure that you're not going to get caught by any of that util. Give ult orbs over on the side of your opponents. Just play to your strength. You already have 4 players inside the site. You have better weapons. Just clean up. Clean up in all 3 and move on to the next round.
Obsboss is back.
That's true. Posted up this time towards main and gaining the space behind the Owl drone. But that already is a tell. Look at how instantly Zeppa falls back with the rest of his team. They don't need the Fade to do the Prowler behind the pillars because they already have the drone from Mitch.
Now they have the mid control, also Cam there to help from the flank. Are they going to go back?
I think so. They might try to go back to try to grab at least map space and potentially even dimensional drift for Oxy.
That is true. He's 1 away. We'll see after you approach this corner how aware they might be that there's the push-up. The drone happened, so you have to think they'd clear this.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe that's why they have Zeppa moving back with them because he's got 2 Prowlers to work with. But now it's just going to be a walk into the crosshair potentially. This is not good.
They feel like they have map positioning. They throw a smoke down. No, they are ready. The quick dismiss, but they still don't look. They don't check the corner. A quick trade onto Osboss, and they know dropping the off is going to be big, and there may not be many here, right? Osboss is there. The team's probably across the map, and Oxy's going to figure that out right away.
And that's the good news. He dropped Mitch instead, so you could still grab the orb, get information into Dimensional Drift, and play the Pulse Plant for Cloud9.
So huge here how this played out for C9. Can they layer the Pulse Plant, though? MIBR ready to get in. Not a lot of util there, just coming from Artisan's KO.
Oxy's just springing TP away, just keeping them, trying to waste that clock down. And that util still available for Cloud9 and Pulse Plant. Already stuck to halfway, though.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be huge. Star goes down, but still pressures him off only for the second defuse, which will pressure Cloud9 even more to get out into position. One shows, Oxy takes it down, but Nosware and Shenum come up huge, and MIBR are starting to close down onto Cloud9. Vic again, can he make it happen? Always asked for.
Oh, he's got it.
And he delivers. He delivers on time. Even the half defuse isn't enough. Cloud9 play these rounds so tight, so close to the chest. And they come up with another one, a Red Bull clutch again from Vic.
Vic coming in huge and staying consistent in these moments. A player that maybe not too many know of, but if you've been following the Challenger scene, what he could do, how consistent he could be. And a reason why he's picked up in these moments. Look at him isolate these one-on-ones. Doesn't care about the recon, just wants to make sure, knows that there's going to be a double swing, and still jiggles enough to get that pick. Stays so cool here under that pressure. And that's a lot to ask for the first time Vic plays here on this stage at Kickoff.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. What incredible kind of just confidence in these plays, knowing that it's something he's done all the time, and the stage does not seem to be any different for him.
Yep, play from home, play for here. It's all the same thing for Vic.
What a quality to have, honestly. What a pickup for C9. 6-10 here. It looks like it's a bit of a B play.
Still slow, though. Everything got slowed up by a smoke in the very beginning. Right now for Cloud9, I mean, they'll happily take it. Just easy map control once again, and just unfortunate this time here for Osboss. Tried to go for a hero play that got picked off here by Net, so they have to understand here. I mean, it's understandable because for MIBR, they haven't really tried to go for a lot of these mid controls yet.
They haven't, but Net's always been there.
So now they know, checkbox, look into the later rounds, what they could do here to potentially fight Net in these moments that C9 consistently plays these 4-1s on the attack.
Slow move. You can see Artine, he's like, is everybody gonna crash through R? He seems a bit scared. He tries to take main control. It's not gonna be enough. C9 are throwing everything in the kitchen sink in sight before they even enter right now. And there's one from Artine. Reloads, gets another shell on there, cocks the shotgun again, and it's a 4K. The collateral on the last hit there. Oh my God, pumping up the team with the Bucky. And it's gonna be just one more left. Net to live in A with the plan.
Silver lining is that he didn't pick up any of these weapons.
Bye-bye. Holy moly. Home defense over there from Artisan with a shotgun. Beautiful job on A site. And he was in such a cluster of utility. Had a chance to shoot the drone of Oxy, or the clone rather. Didn't shoot the clone. Still came out with the right play. He had so many options. He chose the right one out of all of them.
Oh man, talking about isolating fights just before from Vic this time. Ooh. And just a quick smile.
Yowzer.
But the 1v2 from Net, pulling out the knife to walk out towards dugout. You have to expect the rotate to come through. You never saw the Killjoy. You know the Killjoy is playing B at this point on how you enter towards that A site.
That's a huge stop. They just hit on C9's 2 rounds in a row, and now 2 away from winning, Vance. MIBR so close.
And C9, with the amount of plants they've been getting, at least they have a pretty decent buy. Half shields for both Zeppa and Vic, but the rest of them are full shields, full rifles, and continuing that 4-1. This time, though, a little bit more activation from Net, so he potentially great util.
Oh, almost. They're trying to help him, but couldn't get everything for him. Still get Aspas out safe. So they've gotten the pressure and a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, that's a small dub. You forced out here an updraft, a dash, and now one smoke towards that spawn. You don't really give an opportunity for Aspas to get a good line.
Well, they're going to peek this right away, hoping the dart would be something. It's not going to get enough there as they get right back into the smokes. Nice use of the layering and util here as we go back for the fight. Vance Fragment's actually going to start cooking some people up in the corner. Net tries to get a kill, but Artisan runs into his Fragment to get the final kill there on Oxy. Or not final kill, but another one.
And that's a huge kill from Net. The ult gets information all 4.
Slow pushes, back and forth. The trades are making this very tough to get a peek on as they spam through the smoke. You can see this push now coming from Nasr, trying to figure out who is back here, how much he can do. 3 bullets left in the Vandal. Picks up another, picks up a Phantom. He should be good now. It's going to be a re-fire onto Mitch. Trade from Vic.
I mean, all that I love here from Mitch, just staying outside of that smoke just to delay enough. Again, the other ones with the operator, what could Aspas really do here to try to retake a 2 versus 3? So it was the most important fight in the back of the site between Nasr and Mitch. And both IGLs going toe-to-toe, but Mitch using the delay to guarantee the round for Cloud9 in the Pulse plant. You have to tip your hat over to Mitch's side.
Quick play on the other side of the map too, just to deter, but yeah, back here playing in the smoke, staying alive, causing Nasr just to focus, right? That's what you're talking about, making them focus Mitch instead of what they can in the site. Yeah, these little cat and mouse games, their C9 is able to get by in the rounds, but we're seeing that's what it takes C9 to get these rounds right now. MIBR is so close to grabbing them all back almost every time. Crazy.
Now a timeout here from Fraud. Remember the last time they had a timeout on Abyss with an operator and a Hunter's Fury available on their side. They did try to go for the Hunter's Fury angle to have Aspas posted up. This is going to be quite interesting to see if they want to cook up something very similar, leveraging the Hunter's Fury around what should not be the best buy going into MIBR if they want to buy around this play, or is it going to be the longer game here for the Brazilian team? Because they still have a 4-point lead, which is not too bad, but you're starting to see here that Cloud9, just like Abyss, are having a little bit of comfort here on their attack side.
Hop it back in. Cloud9 comes off of these timeouts quite strong, and they actually have that ult to use from Nightfall and one for Oxy if they can, again, orb grab. That guy is just cycling through ults this game, and MIBR is able to stop what is happening. An operator, low buys around that, except for Cortesia.
Yeah, it looks like they wanted to go with rifles at the very beginning, Guardians and Stingers, but they are going to just stick with what they have to make sure they have a healthy buy in the next. But the idea is still there. You have both Artisan and Aspas working together. Playing further behind is going to be Nasr with the Hunter's Fury. And Prowler for C9 at least checks out that the operator's there.
Insert. This is what killed them last time. They actually get shot on the drone, so they have to think twice now. Is this spot something that gets kills on him? No way it happens again, Fanstilly. Oxy's gonna try to check it, but it was just a weird check wire on the outside. Zep was finally able to capitalize on that, but now C9 are running away from this Hunter's Fury that tagged up Zeppa.
They had to be aware of that, especially with how Aspa shot those right away. At least he got into an instant train, and he also wasted out that Hunter's Fury. And MIBR's read now is to say, well, they got to back up on this, because Aspas technically was opting towards the A side. We have to run away from that, which C9 has done, but the mind games continue here for Mitch. They're going to wait for the second wave around the Nightfall and Salvo. So very important that Zeppa stayed alive to dance around the Hunter's Fury.
Your fear.
Nightfall comes in. You have to expect MIBR is going to use Cosmic Divide to take the site back once this plant happens, so they'll probably let a bit of this happen really before giving themselves up. Oh, good damage!
No.
Oh, Cortezia with the molly. It's actually blocked in by Zeppa. That Hunter's Fury pays off big time.
I mean, it's out in the open. You're still running into that, and now Aspas gets a pick and the spikes down.
There's going to be a gate in. Quickly goes net. They try to force the play. It's on a pressure cooker now. Cortezia and Shenum come up huge. That's game point for MIBR as Cloud9 is left wondering.
Question marks all around there on C9's re-hit towards that site. The Nightfall did get information on players playing towards Secret. They had smokes blocking up that sign, but it just felt like they had that gameplay, the plan to just try to take down Cortezia on the top of the staircase towards Art, just to guarantee a safer plant. Looks like they wanted to plant a little bit more out in the open instead of going for the safe plant inside the cabin towards the tucked area of the default spot of the A site. And it does not pay out for C9. Backs against the wall. MIBR at map in a series point.
And it's time for the rapid timeout. No time left here. Use them if you got them. Amy's going to go ahead and chat with the team again as they're on game point. Calm them down, reset the strats, and let them know there's so much in the playbook that they can use to make this work.
This is so difficult now, Riv, because this might be just a Hail Mary for Cloud9 outside of the timeout, just to salvage the round, because they haven't used that Armageddon yet. Now on top of that, they have the Dimensional Drift here from Moxie, so it might just be one of those plays, just like they did against the anti-eco at the beginning of the half, where they just want to try to guarantee the round.
We saw it before. We were talking about how Cortezia would be kind of just put out of the map by Mitch. Both have their ults. We might get to see it on the final round if they can play within the window of Salvo or Armageddon to get the lockdown to work. It seems almost impossible, but imagine that being the way this round goes through.
Yeah, a lot of question marks and ifs. A lot of here alternate universes that potentially now splits into or a C9 comeback or an MIBR upset victory in this series.
Yep.
But again, just to underline this double ult that they currently have here for C9, if they use this now and are able to capitalize on the round, there's still 4 chances for MIBR to close it out with their own ults, better weaponry. And hopefully for C9 fans, it's not going to be the case, but you see here how nervous they are, staying back towards the spawn in the very beginning.
And such a low buy for C9 here. Relegated to 2 Sheriffs, weapons on the 3 Stooges. Let's see if they can make it happen. Into the site, Oxy's gonna get everything with Dimensional Drift here. Armageddon goes down. They could still have Salvo coming in for that lockdown. Few shots go back, and that's gonna be a bit of mid now picked up by Cloud9. Looks like they could stay alive here with just 3 more as their man up.
What a nice Armageddon to follow him out.
It's going to be a quick shorty as he knows Mitch is coming in. They're not going to be able to get any of that util. Shenum, Artazine, and Aspas still alive now to try and get this spike down.
And both players of C9 are isolated, though. It might have to be our hero play coming in for once again Vic.
Nobody's going for that spike just yet. Obviously, MIBR can see it. They'll keep putting it on the ground if it gets picked up. And they have coverage across the site. This looks tough for C9.
30 seconds left.
If they win this, it's the momentum they need to keep going to bring it OT.
Enemy remaining.
One more, Vance. It's going to be Vic. He takes the shot, the 2v1. He's trying to create the 1v1s, but he can't find anybody. 18 seconds, and they're going to force him to plant the spike. Artazine just doing the peaks. Can he get underneath Heaven here just to make it happen? He's going to get behind the pillar. He probably has a bit of a plant spot. The Ginkgo's just off to the left side. Can he get himself into a position that pushes and pulls? It's going to be the kill from Artazine. That's it. MIBR reigns on Cloud9's parade as they move through the kickoff bracket.
MIBR, against all odds here, are able to fight back. And in a default composition, going into a map here like Pearl, they just stuck to what worked for them and made sure that they just play their own game.
Amazing stuff from MIBR. The upset we were not expecting, but if an upset's on the docket, that means it can happen. what a restructuring of the mantle and just what we saw from last week from this team, Van Silly. Incredible change.
Yeah, night and day, but you have to look at it from MIBR's side. In an interview from Ospas, they just came into kickoff maybe 6 days before kickoff.
Yeah.
A new agent just came out. They had 1 day of practice. So definitely it did not look good against such a strong team that they played in that first round. But then you know that Fran has been working around the clock with Nosworth to make sure that they stay alive in this series and continuing their run for kickoff.
Yeah.
And they showed that beautifully here with the display that they had against Cloud9 today.
And we know that core of MIBR was going to be good, but the questions were around the rookies. Shannon, Cortezia, I don't think those questions really hold that much anymore, but we'll have to see if they can continue that performance. I mean, C9's good. They have a lot of good teams to play against, and consistency is key.
Yeah, and when you look back at this game as we have these highlights coming through, it still looks so good for Cloud9 when they started things off, getting the bonus round in their favor, but it almost went back to that same story where they had such a hot start, but couldn't hold on to that lead here going into that second map. And now, unfortunately, here in this third map, that eliminates them against MIBR. These hero plays coming out too. I mean, it's also one of those days where players were just shooting, right? You're starting to feel the groove. You had a dominant second half, or first half, sorry, on that second map, and you're carrying that over into a potential with the veterancy of both Nosworth and Aspas saying, hey, if we could actually play the same way that we did on Abyss and do this against a team like Cloud9, we definitely have what it takes here to push it forward to the finishing line.
Crazy stuff here. So Cloud9 going to be losing that one, and they do get eliminated from VCT Americas Kickoffs, and we do have to say goodbye to Cloud9. A great run to Star Energy, kind of showed what their problems were. They had a chance to fix those, and MIBR kind of pushed at those buttons here in this series.
Yeah, if anything that we could take away from Cloud9, at least for this kickoff, is that it's not really just one hero play coming out from Oxy that needs to activate every single time, and if Oxy's not consistent, then C9 will fumble.
That's true.
They did so well here as a group. You also had Oxy do a little bit more and also popped off here in this whole series against MIBR for this one. But unfortunately, the rest around that was not enough. And if you're able to just bring that all together going into stage one, this is not going to be a team that you think that everybody thought they're going to be like 10th, 11th, or 12th here in kickoff. They could definitely go into like the top 6.
I think it's one of the important things. It took all of MIBR, and they all showed up today. Super important for that squad. So let's send it down to Dryad at the stage for the Verizon post-match interview with Artesine.
Thank you, guys. I'm joined by Artesine for the Verizon post-match interview. Can I hear for Artesine and MIBR, who continue moving in this lower bracket run for kickoff? And Artesine, my first question for you, it's going to be a little bit, we're going to map by map. So the first thing that we saw was the changing composition on Lotus. Do you feel more comfortable playing this Viper compared to the Tejo on that last match?
To be honest, for me, it doesn't matter what agent I'm playing, because I'm really a flex guy, so I can play with whatever the team needs. But yeah, we changing the Lotus comp. It's about like adaptation and stuff that we suffered from the first match.
And on that second map, it was a 10-2 advantage. It got a little tricky. It got very close. What happens after that pause to make sure that you were able to close out and continue on this run?
To be honest, adaptation as well. They were playing really good on attack and the second map, so we were kind of late to this adaptation. But after we resolve it, it was more easy to play, you know. So.
And now we have a question from the audience. One of the fans, whose name is Noah, asked, how do you keep composure knowing each game might be your last?
For me, I don't think like that. I just think that I need to live. I'm grateful to live what I live here. So every loss is not a loss. It's just experience. So that doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, we just keep working.
Yeah, just keep it step by step. And my last question, next match is going to be against Evil Geniuses. How do you feel about facing them?
They're a pretty good team, but we're confident to play against them.
All right, thank you so much, Artesine. This is everything that we have for the Verizon post-match interview. And on the desk, we have two very special guests, is Nosworth and Aspas.
Thank you so much. Hello and welcome to Match Point. Joining us, as you can see, are no other than Nazwar and Aspas. First of all, of course, congratulations on that dub. What a series this has been. Absolute nail-biter. Let's talk about this a little bit and your plans heading into this as well, because last map, Pearl, we see you going to that default comp, and quite frankly, a lot of people have been worried because you're going up against that Teo. Walk us through the thought process here.
You want to talk?
Yeah. If you can talk and can talk after.
I think the default comp on Pearl is really good because of KO. I think KO, he makes a big difference. His knife can get a lot of info, the flashes are good. So I think the default comp is really good on this map because of KO. And I think Alpine is really strong as well. So even with Tejo and those different agents, I still think that the default comp is really good on Pearl.
Yeah, and for me, like after we lose 100 Ts, we learn a lot how we need to play. And yeah, I think it worked well in Pearl.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask next time too, because against 100 Thieves, when you played Lotus, you were running a Tejo comp yourself. But it looked like the utility was just a little bit off, like the Neon kept sliding away from it, and then you guys switched comps completely. So just want to ask, like, was that like a whole team, like, okay, like, forget the Tejo comp, let's go back to double smoke, something more comfortable, or what was the thought process behind that one?
I think it was an option to play double smokes, but we choose to play with buys because we see that our defense was weak in that map. But yeah, we couldn't handle well in the attack side this time. So so yeah, we made the change, I think, because we didn't make it well the last map against 100 Thieves.
At least this time we got some rounds.
Yeah. No, you guys look good.
It was 4 rounds, right?
We were talking about it up here. We were like, you know what, this is way better than last time.
Yeah.
So, also, I'm wondering for you specifically, Aspas, because you have a lot of young players on the team now. Do you feel like you have to be like more of a leader, like not in terms of IGLing, but like a mentor to like these younger kids to make sure that they develop in a good way, you know? Kind of like how when you were a rookie.
I'm more of a type of a leader outside of the game. Fraud told me this because of the things that I do naturally.
Yeah.
So I try like to help them with routines and those stuff outside of the game. So more outside of the game, I would say that I'm more of a leader right now.
Nice.
What's the experience like to play with 3, less experienced players? You're the only, we talked about it on the desk, you're the only team which really took a chance on tier 2 players in Brazil. What's that experience been like for you thus far?
Yeah. Now I'm the old man.
Yeah, me too. I'm really old now in this team, but yeah, I feel like it's a challenge. He's an inspiration for the boys because he's one of the best in the world. He's the best of the world. So yeah, like we everyday process. We try to teach them the basics of the games. We try to talk a lot of how we want to play the game. So I hope like everyday process gonna make really good change for us to win. So yeah.
What was it like finally seeing like Shenum like go crazy in like his first VCT game? He looked so good today. Same with Cortesia as well. He had some like really crazy lurk timings and like just the individual skill that these two players have, and then obviously we saw Artisan like with that Bucky play, which was so clutch. But, like, what's it like seeing them like step up to the plate?
Yeah, I think we know that they were really good. It's just time, They need more time to show it, but we truly know that they are really good,
Yeah, I think through the year we are just going to keep improving. They are really good players, so I just got really happy when I saw like Shannon was giving some good calls as well on mid-round. Cortesia was getting some insane timing, so I'm just happy.
Yeah, the system, it's working, it's
like
working.
Happy dad.
That's right.
It's like a happy dad.
You can see it in the player cams as well. It's like proud moments there for sure. It's been a lot of fun to watch you guys, ramp it up round after round after round and game after game now as well. You're still in this competition. However, it's not quite over for you. We're going to force you to compete one more time because we have such talented players here, right? So we have to put their skills to the test in a Valorant Skills Challenge. Sean, what you got for us over there?
We got the Valorant Skills Challenge here, and Oh, first of all, I really like your guys' jerseys.
Really? You like? It's like retro football.
The vertical lines, they go crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, but wait, oh yeah, you guys have to go over to that PC.
Oh,
this is the referee PC. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to yellow card you for that actually.
Oh yeah.
And let me change this. I don't want to be confused for anyone working in Foot Locker.
Yeah, go there.
All right, so here's the rules, boys. All right, I'm in A heaven.
Okay.
Okay? You guys have to remain in attacker spawn. Whoever gets a recon closest to me wins. You got to get in heaven, though, from attacker spawn. You got to stay in attacker spawn.
Oh, okay.
No lineups, bro.
Honestly, if you were an Osboss, I'd red card you.
So where do you want to go?
Okay.
And you got to alternate. 3 chances.
From this spawn, we need to throw a dart on
heaven, okay.
I'll ping how far you are.
I do this for you.
Okay.
So you have a pixel right now?
Ain't no way. Wait. This is collusion.
Huh?
Wait. He's helping you.
Yeah, because I help me always.
Oh, okay. Wow, he's a real one.
Yeah, I'm a real one.
Sabotage.
That's crazy. Wait. Where's it going? I can't even ping this.
Good luck, Brian Pingy.
Okay. Nosworth's turn. Now you DQ for that.
Okay.
Yo, we need a gaming chair. Osboss needs to meditate.
So jump right there. Let me see. So.
Wait,
no.
No. Wait, actually,
something.
You're actually closer than Osboss though.
So okay. Try to don't do that. Should I can use the keyboard or he needs to?
No, you guys are each doing it separately.
I think we were both.
Yeah,
together.
no.
Now I'm using the keyboard.
Okay.
That's why I was like, you're a real one for helping.
You're gonna jump, okay? 1, 2, 3, go. No, going. More. Start. Give me that. And now 1,
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yo.
He's a solo man, he knows the angle.
Wait, where did it go even? I didn't even see it land.
It was like in the.
It was right above the window.
Yeah, on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Really
Osboss,
close.
your turn now.
But you know the pixel right now.
Now I know the pixel.
If you can get in the window, you win.
He's gonna steal my pixel. No.
Osboss, you get one more chance.
Okay, wait.
One more chance.
No. No. That's it. No, that's it. He keeps doing that.
Wait.
Okay, he's going.
Oh, he's cooking.
Huh?
Oh!
I already win.
Nosworth wins. Wait, you know what? Osboss, this ref is a fan. Can I get a signature on my jersey?
Yeah. Of course.
You actually win, low-key.
Okay, you want anywhere?
Yeah.
Right, you can choose.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
And then you guys can go ahead and head back to the desk. But first, I got first place prize for you, Nosworth.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. You can wear it.
You lied to me. You told me I was first place.
Well, you're first place in my heart for life.
What is this?
That's your first place prize.
Oh my god.
We matched. We're twinning.
Oh yeah. I like this one.
Wait, I want one as well.
You want one too?
I need to win next time?
Yeah.
It's like
You can share. It's big enough to share, honestly. Like, come on back to us. Join us.
Thank you.
The instructions seem to be unclear. I think you were supposed to actually play against each other, but you know that was our Valorant skills challenge. How did they do? What do you think?
I thought Osboss did great. It took him a while, but he got there.
6 times. It was close.
Even with the help, dude, he's still struggling, bro.
To show him the pixel.
Yeah.
I'm a jet man.
Yeah.
Dash man.
Oh, I feel you, bro. I know what it's like, bro. Trust me.
Well, that was entertaining. Almost as entertaining as all the matches we got to see thus far here in NA. Let's take a look at the bracket to see where we're standing. We have to say goodbye to our first teams today, and it doesn't stop there. Asking you guys here, what were the big surprises for you? Is there any team that you feel like overperformed or underperformed?
I can't see anything. I don't have glasses.
But you know the results,
I
right?
think
So
Loud was
were you surprised that some teams performed?
Loud, right?
Yeah, really impressive.
Who is in the upper?
Loud, Sentinels, I think.
Loud Sen
on left.
And G2.
G2 Lev.
Yeah. But for me,
I'm surprised about
they Loud, I think for me. They did really well. In the
I got surprised about Loud. G2 I already expected.
Yeah, Chichu.
Yeah, everyone expected you to, right? That was crazy. What do you think about the next match that you have to play against EG with how they played today?
I'm excited to play against EA again.
Yeah.
In 2022, we played like 10 times, and now I'm playing him again.
Isn't that crazy? It's like full circle. What about you? How do you feel about that
for
matchup?
me, like it's a new team, so I don't know what to expect. We're gonna see that game, you know. But yeah, it's like Jay coming back, doing ace. It's gonna be good to play against him. So yeah.
It's gonna be a good one for sure. Now, before I let you guys go, one last thing for you, Aspas. After map 1, we actually got to talk to a friend of yours, TCK10, joined us for a quick chat. And I don't show the clip, but he was calling you out. He was calling that you guys losing already after halfway through map 1. Is there anything you want to say to your friend in response to that? Now that you kicked the tournament?
I have something for him. I have something for him, and I'm gonna look straight at the camera because I look at his eyes right now. TCK, when we went to Six Flags, I paid the Uber, and you still didn't pay me back. So, like, I paid 2 Ubers, the Uber to go and the Uber to go back. You didn't pay both, so you owe me a lot of money.
Also me too, but I'm paying him.
Hey, he better pay up because he's got that streamer money too. You know what I mean?
That's right,
Yeah, dude. Come on, bro.
Pay your Ubers, my mate. Pay your Ubers. Thanks you so much for joining us here for a quick chat. Best of luck in your next match. We are done for the day, but it's not quite over actually, because we still have, of course, our Samsung SSD fast replay for you. So thank you so much for watching. We're going to see you again tomorrow.
First elimination game here for Kickoff, and it's 2 teams that honestly had pretty high expectations in the offseason.
First time seeing him on the Americas stage.
There's that off for Icy.
Lovely.
The IGL's dead. Another Icy ringing out in mid.
Every single fight they took went exactly their way. MW just getting toyed with a little bit. Icy on top of that one. Like to see Rafa settle things down, hold on what is happening. It's not so simple.
50 armor though, a Dink should do it. No! Super whiffed. Rafa rewarded, but he needs to do more. Critical man in this round, and he claims another. Rafa for 3, 4 from the IGL.
I love this angle from EA. Just waiting for it. That is just nasty.
It's completely split up. And unfortunately for Heat, it's Ye holding that angle.
So far on the attack, pretty excellent.
EG win it on time and claim map number 1 of this series. He's stunned. Push back, aftershock. This guy's getting bullied by Util. There's the power of Breach Teo. Teammate within that smoke, but he's soon to be overwhelmed. DG swings in.
He keeps spamming. He's just revealing his position on the map. Now he's out of bullets. H2 with a 4K to win the pistol.
The mark missed, and he's dead. Khalil now the last man to try and salvage this, and Nature, he's not getting up. It doesn't matter. Khalil for 3. Here comes that Raise Rocket. A Brimmo. They're using everything this round. EG demolishing Furia. As the Rocket misses, EG gets the kill. And they knock Furia out of Kickoff. It's been 2 years since we've watched EG on Fracture. It may be a new team, but they still own this map.
We are ready to get into game 2 here. It is going to be a good one. Cloud9 taking on MIBR. Rumble control already by MIBR, so they're going to have to close in on this. A quick peek. Artson finds it with a shorty.
Heard the salvos, and now double walking in. Phosphor is beautiful, though.
Again! There's 2! Nasr clears off the round MIBR.
The wall that comes up from net.
And stunned again!
And now you have 0 util going into B.
What are we watching? What a round from Cloud9. Mitch is able to capitalize on the final frag to give C9 Lotus over MIBR.
Outburst maybe to try to escape, and it's a 3-2-1 swing. Oh, and a collapse!
Full rotate, blades are out. There's one. Oh, Shannon. Or Shannon's gonna go down. The ace from Oxy just to the side. It's gotta be the Oxy ace. Pulls out the round. C9's got to do some work here. Ospas and the rest of the team just start getting frags left and right, as that's a 3K for Ospas. And the first half, 10-2.
With the position that they had for Cloud9, it was so difficult for MIBR to rotate across.
Oh, and the paranoia can't find anything. Knives over their shoulders and are within 1 of tying the game now.
Keep holding that line, but lose Mitch in the process.
What a look, what a shot. Vic is just taken down to 46. The rest for Ospas is up. And that is the map for MIBR. The elimination match is going all 3.
Mitch before the wall even came up.
Yeah, it was really quick. Just on that left side, you can see the X down. Another one from the Hunter's Fury. Shenham and Nasr now at the top of A main as Nasr strikes true twice, 3 times to get the round. C9 are throwing everything in the kitchen sink in sight before they even enter right now. And there's one from Arsene. Reloads, gets another shell on there, cocks the shotgun again. And it's a 4K. The collateral on the last hit there. Oh my God, pumping up the team with the Bucky.
MIBR, against all odds here, are able to fight back.
Amazing stuff from MIBR. The upset we were not expecting.